All right, guys. Well, welcome. It is Monday, August 27th. Holy Hannah, like more than half the year. So where does it go? Where does it go? And I'm Casey, and I am co-hosting tonight with the beautiful Andrea Hincart. And she has joined us too. So her team is on here, and our team's on here together. And so we just wanted to do some collaboration together. She is someone who I have followed from the beginning. Oh my gosh. For those of you who don't know me or my story, I've been in Isagenix for 6 years, and it's changed every area of my life. And when I first got started, and you're doing three-way calls and following the systems, and I remember reaching out to Andrea. She didn't know who I was, or maybe even in her downline. I know she has probably 100+ thousands in her downline. And she did a call with me, and I was like, wow, this millionaire took the time out to do a call with me. And it was so exciting. And she's the millionaire at 39 in Isagenix. I'm going to let her share her story. But I was a night shift nurse, and I started for the products, had a love affair with the products. And I read a book called The 4-Year Career, and that book changed my life. And it showed me geometric progression, went to my first event, rolled up my sleeves, got to work, and now all of you fine people that I know on here, most of you from our team for sure. And what I love about Isagenix is that it is one big team. So Andrea, for those of you who don't know your story, I'd love for you to share your story with us.
I'm happy to share my story. I'm so glad we're doing this together, Casey. This is so cool. It's really fun. So I got started in Isagenix when the company started in 2002. And for those of you that don't know my story, I was introduced to Isagenix by Dr. John Gray, who wrote that little book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. He's my kid's godfather. And he had told me about Isagenix in May 2002, and I actually turned him down, even though I trusted him literally with the life of my children. But it was like, you're selling products out of the trunk of your car? Are you crazy? I was so not into this. And I was really unhealthy at the time. I was a size 3X. Ladies, you know what that is, and maybe you don't. It was huge. And all the health consequences that came with that. I just let myself go is really what happened. And John was trying to help me. And then he leans over. I said, I'm really not interested. I don't want your thing. He said, it's network marketing. And I said, you got to be crazy, man. You're a multi-gazillionaire. Why would you be doing something like this? And he actually said to me at the time, he said, this is how I'm going to give back to my family and friends who have helped me along the way, which was really beautiful in retrospect. But in the moment, I just said, no, not into this kind of stuff. That was it. And a couple months later, he came to our house with his wife for a party we were having. And he literally, I'll never forget, he literally walked in the front door, grabbed my husband by the arm, sat him down on the sofa, handed him a 9-day program, because that's all we had at the time. No labels on the bottles or on the box, blind faith. And he said, you're too fat, you're too toxic, take this. And my husband said, okay. After I just said, no, we can't do it for all these reasons. And he actually had amazing results. And he gave it to our kids, helped my daughter keep off the college 15, helped our son with his learning issues in school. And I still said no, because I've been a nutritionist for almost 40 years. And I was of the belief at the time, you eat healthy, you exercise, you're good to go. We know over time that we need to supplement our diets because our soils are minerally depleted and all of that. And so I eventually got on and got with the program and had amazing results. And just the interesting little twist to that is we became Isagenix millionaires without trying. In the first 5 years of being in Isagenix, we were in for 2 and then decided to actually make some money at this, but not realizing what we were doing, because Isagenix wasn't an established business at the time. We were totally product-oriented, completely product-oriented. So just a little blip in the story is that 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago, my husband was killed in a plane accident. And I was married for 30 years to my best friend. So it was a pretty tragic time for our family. And what was really beautiful about that, in retrospect, of course, is that I didn't have to worry about selling my house. I didn't have to worry about getting a job. I didn't have to worry about money. I could go through my grieving and figure life out, but finances was something I didn't have to worry about because there were people all over the world sharing Isagenix who didn't know my story. They were just using the products. And I realized that miracle, that this is the best health insurance and life insurance policy we could ever have. And because of that, and because of the personal growth program that Isagenix offers as well, I've been able to transform my life, and I'm actually really happy and blessed for all that I have now and what I'm able to create in my life. So it's been an amazing ride, 16 years in this company, and having over 100,000 people in my downline around the world. And being able to reach out and help people through the books and the articles that I write for family health. It's just been an incredible blessing. And I never would have met Casey had I not been in Isagenix. So it just blows my mind. It really does, still to this day.
Oh, that's an amazing story. And just thank you too. I mean, all the knowledge that you pour in. I mean, healthy kids, healthy moms, you know, the books, the articles, the pregnant and breastfeeding articles, and Isagenix Health, you know, you contribute to all that. And so we're just so grateful. We have a lot of Isa mommies on here. We have a lot of mommies on here that are able to not have to go back to work or able to work part-time, new moms because of the vehicle of Isagenix. And, you know, gosh, that's just really what health is, you know, it's time, and it's being able to enjoy it with your family and that balanced living. And so Andrea and I, we were talking about, well, what do we really, you know, want to talk about? And just really coming from the heart too, of thinking, you know, we all see people, and you know, gosh, with being in this business, you know, really from before it was a business, from when it was a product. And I think John Anderson would recall, or he would call and do your launch parties via the phone on speakerphone, right? There was no Facebook. Completely different. And as far as just really seeing everybody, you know, doing it in different ways, but yet having the result of success and being able to be authentic. You know, one of the core values in Isagenix is free to be me. And I love that core value because I think that we see ways that people are having success, or this one person, it becomes this highlight reel of, okay, I have to do it this way, or I have to do it this way. And it's like that puts us into a box sometimes, and we can lose, we were talking the word flow, right? If you can flow in your business, and if you can have fun in your business and find what really resonates with you. And I would just love for you to just share, you know, experiences for you, and how do you build, how have you sustained enthusiasm and excitement and joy, you know, in this journey, and just really staying true to you and for what this vehicle, you know, is aligned for you, and give back to the world. I mean, you do your mission trips, and you school. I mean, you just do so many things, you know, around the world for those that are less fortunate. So how do you stay in your flow?
You know, it's just tuned into the Isagenix community, Casey. I think that, you know, Casey and I were talking last night at midnight? It was 3 o'clock in the morning for you. You were out in the full moon, and I was barely awake, and we were talking, and it was so awesome. We were talking about flow and ease, and I've never seen another company anywhere, whether it was network marketing or a corporate company, that offers so much community and culture and value, and continually willing to grow and shift and change. Mm-hmm. And so when we stay plugged into what Isagenix has to offer, we stay on top of what they're offering, and we go to events, and for me, I mean, expanding my friendship circle, it's not like I didn't have friends before, but really this family that we create. And even tonight, you know, blending our teams together, our team call, it's just such a cool thing. And it actually, maybe it's just me, but it excites me so much. It really does. And watching you grow, Casey, I remember we did an event, Jen Trinkner put on an event many, many years ago, and I flew out there, and we did a Super Saturday, and you were just getting started, and your husband wasn't quite on board with you, and you weren't, you know, but you were determined. You were absolutely determined, and now you're this 8-star platinum, 4-star crystal executive, 203rd Isagenix millionaire. You know, you stayed on track and you pursued. And so, like, what is it for you too? How did you stay? We were talking last night about ease and about really staying in your own space and doing what's right for you. So how did that manifest for you? What does that look like?
Yeah, and there's definitely I notice massive dips in my business and throughout when I have stepped away from that ease, when I've stepped in that comparison mode, when I really say, oh my gosh, I have to do it this way or that way versus ways that are joyful and fun, and community is really fun for me in person and things like that. I know that Gabby, or no, it wasn't Gabby. Oh, beautiful. She did spray tan, so she shared at the event. Beautiful girl. And she's like, the only time I feel stuck is if I'm just stuck behind that computer screen and I've lost the ability like to connect with people. And that really resonated with me like so much, too, like looking back throughout my business. But, the main thing that you said, and, Nick shared, no arms, no legs, international world speaker, travels all over, a successful business. He's like, figure it out, right? So we have to figure it out, like in that authentic place for us. But Rhonda Collier, she shared something on a call once, and I wanna read this for you guys because it really is that determination. And when we first met and I was doing that first event, it's like, yeah, I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I had no idea. I didn't have a large network. My favorite thing about this business now, though, is making friends. I love being able to be a professional friend maker. I think that is so cool that we get rewarded so well for making friends for a living and blessing people with products that will change their life, their family's lives. But Rhonda read this, and when she read it, I started crying because I was like, oh my gosh, I can relax because I have done this. I have made a stone cold commitment to myself and my family to make this work. And it says, at the moment of commitment, the entire universe conspires to assist you. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth. The ignorance of hesitancy will kill countless ideas and splendid plans. Oh, that just resonated with me. And then it says, but the moment that one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never have otherwise occurred. A whole stream of events occur from that commitment, that decision, and will raise favor of all manner of unforeseen incidents, events, and materials will assist. They appear, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. Whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. And thinking about that word commitment, like I'm committed, and that was it, and it's like, there was no, Will Smith, he's done that video. There was no need for plan B because it distracted him from plan A. And that's how Isagenix has always been for me. And it was being in such a relentless commitment of knowing that this is the vehicle that I am choosing for myself. I felt so good, and I still feel so good and confident when I talk to somebody and I say, come with me, follow me, I can show you the way, I can show you what this vehicle can do, because I knew that I would never be leaving someone behind or anything because I'm so committed. So it's at that moment that I do feel like the gateways opened up and courage just appeared in moments of being really scared. Even just maybe saying hello, if you're somebody really shy, saying hello can be like so courageous, just a hello. So yeah, and just, evolving, keeping up. And Isagenix is always changing, right? They're always changing. I mean, this new enrollment, way to enroll people with just like a text, like that's so awesome. So technology increase and all the apps and the programs that Isagenix does. So just being willing to evolve because the commitment's there. So that's when I say that level of like commitment, like in this Isagenix business, like without a shadow of a doubt, I mean, your daughter, like, I mean, she has it, like, it's just there. I mean, it hits you. Yes.
Absolutely. And you know, when you were reading that, Casey, it really touched my heart. And what I was thinking about, you had said before, there's a lot of ISA mommies on this call right now. And I was thinking, I know for me, an excuse, like after my husband died, I lost my partner. I lost my business partner. I was making the calls and reaching out. He was doing the business part of it. He was the numbers guy. And I used that as an excuse for so many years. And I lost my commitment to that piece of committing to growing my Isagenix business. I never lost my commitment to Isagenix. And when you were talking about that, I was thinking about mommies. It's like what we all come up, I think many of us have our own excuses of why we're not exceeding or excelling really fast, or what holds us back, or we don't have enough people, or we're shy, or whatever, we can't get to events, or I don't know what to say, whatever the excuses are that we come up with, we tell ourselves in our heads. But imagine your child was in danger, or your pet, or somebody that you absolutely love. You don't need to wait and ask someone else what you should do. Your adrenaline kicks in, man. And you know, you've seen like mommies lifting cars up when their kids are underneath it. I mean, you'll do anything to save your child. You do anything to save your boxer babies, Casey. You know, I got goosebumps. We don't let anything get in our way. And yet we come up
Amen.
We come up with all these excuses about Isagenix, like, well, I don't know what to say, and I don't know whatever. Like, there's no excuse, and you're using that word commitment, and it really is about commitment. Making that line in sand and saying, I'm going to do this. I can do it. They make it so freaking easy. And we can go to event after event after event after event. And when do we actually put the information into action? When do we actually take those steps and make shit happen instead of just, oh, I'm going to go to this event and learn this. It's like, you got to do it, and you got to put in the work. It is network marketing. It's not a new phrase. We got to put in the time to make it happen. And I know, Casey, we were talking last night also about comparison. And, you know, trying to be like somebody else, or do it as fast as someone else, or look at that person that just jumped and became an Isagenix millionaire in 2.5 seconds. That doesn't serve us at all. What are you doing? What am I doing every single day to reach the goal that I have for myself or my family, not what somebody else has? So anyway, I love you, Red. That just really inspired me.
Yes. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Rhonda. Yeah, I'm thinking about, you know, someone like Rhonda. Rhonda has shared her story before too, but it's like, what if she had let her self got caught in comparison? You know, she was at like 5 cycles a week within a few years into Isagenix, you know, like 4 years in, like doing 5 cycles a week. And she was like, but when I really made that like commitment and then got busy, like everything shifted for her as well too. But what a devastation if that interim of, oh, it's not going fast enough, it's not working out. And you know, with technology and all, there's always the highlights of those who goes fast, right? We're always highlighting the overnight success stories, this super fast, but it's like, this is a business, right? This is $1 million business. And in this business, you know, you can have those overnight successes, but they're not overnight. I'm in reading a book, MLM, Building MLM Leaders. It's like, you're not going to have overnight success. Usually there is something that happened before. This person came in, they were a networker already before, right? Or they have massive marketing, maybe skills, maybe in sales, they're professional communicators. Like there's all these things that they've put in, you know, 8-10 years into something else that just really happened to serve them and exactly what this is. So kind of, you know, the price has been paid essentially of them working on themselves, being in so much action to be able to come in and have that quote unquote, what we see as overnight success has really been, you know, years and years and years of something else that they have been, you know, putting that effort into. And, you know, the whole reason why, you know, I believe that we all desire an Isagenix business at its core is happiness, is fulfillment, is time freedom, is choice, is, you know, this financial freedom of this vehicle. And, you know, because we think that we're going to be happier and having those things. And so it's like, but we can bridge that gap, you guys, of deciding to be, I loved what, I was listening to a video of Peter Kelly, and she was like, it's a privilege to be able to build an Isagenix business. It is a privilege. It is not a have to. It is not a hassle. It is not overwhelming. It is a privilege to be partnered with a company that is so dedicated to evolving, to innovation, to, you know, where to keeping up, you know, and where we're going to be, and a legacy to will these spots to your children. I mean, as an executive spot in Isagenix, you get to will this spot to your family. Like, that is a massive privilege. And so just that shift of how, you know, we're looking at something, how would that change how we feel about our business? Or if we're somebody and maybe we're having issues with receiving or being worthy, or if that's a block for us, like, my gosh, every single time you offer the gift of Isagenix, like, you're giving, be excited then for other people to receive until you build that one up for yourself. So, you know, just with the personal growth plan, with the compensation plan, you know, being attached to it. But Excuses Be Gone is a book that I was thinking of when you said that. It's by Wayne Dyer, and Excuses Be Gone. And it just talks about, we've been playing these stories in our head, just about the past, right? Through all the things that we've been through, our programming and where it is and how we think things should be. It's this highlight, this reel, not a highlight reel, just this reel that's going on over and over in our heads. And so it's like, we have to stop using those excuses, or we'll never have the life that we want. You can have excuses or you can have results. You're never going to have both, ever. And thinking about that was like a huge thing. It's like, what do I want? Do I want to be right in my excuses? Like, yeah, I can tell this story all day long. I can get people to feed into it. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. But it's like, I want results. I want happiness. I don't want the excuses to be owning me. So I think that is critical. It's everything for having success. I see heads shaking. It's like, yes, it is. Yes. What would you say, Andre, of knowing the Cougars personally, and, you know, so many people at corporate and their commitment to where this company is going, and why is it worth, you know, the sacrifices? I don't think that really sacrifice to me, it's an exchange, you know, from everything that you receive to what you put in. It's like, oh, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into building an Isagenix. Yes, but the return on investment of those sacrifices has been no massive. I don't feel like I've given up anything other than things that didn't serve me. So that's exciting. But what would you just say to people who don't, you know the Cougars like you do, or as far as their integrity and what they stand for, and from the top, it trickles down?
Yeah, I think that's another, when you asked me the first question, Casey, about, what my commitment is or what excites me about Isagenix. And I think my foundation of knowing the Cougars from the beginning. I mean, I've stayed in their home overnight. I wasn't like some big millionaire that got invited. We were just friends. We'd go out to dinner, that kind of thing. And Kathy mentored me the first 2 years of my company, of when I got into Isagenix. I actually won a contest and got 2 years I got 1 year, and then I expanded it to 2 with Kathy. And so I really got to know them really well. And I'm not saying that, the expression, I'm not saying that to impress you, but to impress upon you that I have a relationship with the Cougars. A lot of people in corporate, John and Cher Anderson, are really good friends of ours, the founder and formulator. And it's that understanding of who those people are at their core, like sitting at their dinner table in private, talking about all kinds of other stuff, not Isagenix, not an Isagenix dinner or something like that, and really getting to know who they are. I got goosebumps again. I can tell you, whatever you know of me or whatever your belief is, these people are so incredibly committed to the long-term goal of this company and our needs. It blows my mind, and it never ceases to amaze me. I was just talking to Kathy a couple days ago, and I said, so Eric's getting more involved and PETA's more involved. and it looks like they're going to step in to your shoes. And she says, well, we have to look at where she and Jim are going as they get older, but they're not quitting. Kathy, when Eric says Kathy stays awake at night thinking about how she can put more money in front of our comp plan and help us, he's not joking. He's not joking. These people are so committed to this company. It's not going to go public. It's going to stay private for all of us to be a part of and have these shares that we have in Isagenix. And I'll never forget one other thing I want to share. When I was on the field advisory board for a couple of years in a row, and that it was just when we were just switching from product to business, and there was an uncomfortable feeling between the field advisory board and the field and corporate at the time. And we voiced it on the field advisory board call, and the Couvers said, well, then what we'd like to do is we'd like you all to come to Arizona, and we're going to work this out. And I got David Wood, who was new in our company at the time, but brilliant communicator. They put us all in a room, some corporate officers, Jim and Kathy Couver, the field advisory board, and David Wood. And we were in a room from morning till night. Nobody had their cell phones. The Couvers never stepped out to take a call. They never stepped out to say, we've got to go to a board meeting. They stayed in the room with us. And David put us through this really cool things where we could just all really talk and share and be honest. And that moment, that was a moment of unbelievable conviction on my part, because I watched these rich, smart corporate officers, owners, if you will, stay so committed. Kathy was in tears at one point, and Jim his heart was so open, and none of that's changed. 14 years later, none of that's changed with them. So I don't know if I answered your question. I got off on a tangent here, but I just hope you can feel from my heart the commitment of the corporate officers and the Couvers, the whole family of the Couvers, and where they're going with Isagenix and where they're taking us. The road they're paving for us is a step ahead, a cut above anything I've ever seen anywhere, Casey. There's a lot of shiny objects, as we say, other companies that come around. They're wannabes. They try to have our comp plan. They try to use the same languaging. Nobody's going to do what we're doing, and no one's got the integrity and the financial backing and the science behind what we have. And I don't know about you, but for me, that just helps me stay in the game, whether I'm feeling low or I'm not feeling low. And something else you addressed, sometimes we think, well, I can't talk to somebody because I still have weight to lose, or I can't talk to someone because I'm not making enough money yet, or I'm not cycling yet. We know that Isagenix is a gift, right? Casey, you and I have seen so many people be successful. Everyone on this call, you've heard stories and seen lives change. So use those stories, even if it's not yours yet, and trust. Get on the calls when Jim and Kathy are on. Listen to what Eric has to say, and feel behind what they're saying, and know and trust. If we've already been here for 16 years with benchmarks that are off the charts, it's only going to get bigger and better, right? I mean, why are you still here, Casey? Why? You don't need to be here. You're making shit tons of money. Why are you still here?
I just can't imagine not being here. What you said, though, it's like, it's in fact, like, you can cut me and I bleed green, right? Like, now it's like the pretty blue, now I bleed blue-green. So I do, like, that Isagenix is in me. Isagenix has become, it's a part of me. It's in me, everything that it stands for. And I just love when you're at an event and you see so many different people, right? There's every single person, different stories, different people. There's just not this one box that people are in. And so I just love knowing that I get to be a part of somebody's life and to change, and like working with people who are hungry, who are ready to roll up their sleeves and get to work and just whatever it takes, and are just like, that fires me up, because I know that their commitment and their dedication and their determination is not only going to set them free, right, it is going to trickle that down to so many people and so many people and so many people and so many people. And it's just like, I believe that Isagenix is the highest vibrating company that there is. Like, we talk about law of attraction, we talk about vibration, we talk about all these things. Like Isagenix, that is the essence of Isagenix, is oozing high vibration consciousness, where it's heading with sustainability, all of these things. It is conscious enterprise at its finest. And I want to be a part of that. And, under what you were just saying too, like before I was making money in Isagenix, before I had a success story in Isagenix, I told people that I was going to be an Isagenix millionaire. Maybe that is not your goal, right? If your goal is to be doing, maybe it's just $50,000 a year is what your goal is for you and your family. $25,000 a year is what your goal is for your family. And that's what you're aligned with. That's freaking awesome. Like that can be it for you. Let this be that vehicle to be that for you. For me, like it was everything. I want to be an Isagenix millionaire. I want to be, not just a $500,000. I want to do $100,000 a month. Like I have some big goals. And so, you have to match that action with that goals. But far before I was doing it, and when I could only put director on my vision board, like that's as big as I could see for myself at the biggest leap, right? Now, did I see Isagenix millionaire? I said yes. Was I committed to that? But the biggest thing that I felt like that I could hit was director, my very first vision board. Guys, but I told people that I was going to be an Isagenix millionaire. I told people this was going to be the vehicle that was going to free myself, free my family. I was like, I'm going to change the freaking world. There's that one saying that, adopting one dog might not change the world, but for that dog, their world is forever changed. I feel like that with Isagenix, right? But at a higher level, I feel like, maybe sharing Isagenix with one person is not going to change the world, but for the person that says yes to themselves, like their world is forever going to be changed. But at the flip, like I do believe that it is changing the world, because people that are attracted to Isagenix and aligned for Isagenix and what it stands for, those are the world changers. Those are the light workers. Those are the people who really want to raise up people at every single core level, And so knowing that to be a part of that, like that just fires me up to no end. And helping people now like get success and seeing their goals hit, like it's just so fun. I get way more fun about seeing my team rank advance and hit goals and, turn consultant manager and Jerry, like that's so exciting. So that's definitely what keeps me going, to no end. And I feel like the Cougars deserve, people that are in it, long term, and to lock arms with them, everything that they have, sacrificed, given to us. It's like, I want to give that back, because I know where this company is going. I know this company is going to be the largest health and wellness company in the world. There is no question in my mind, without a shadow of a doubt, that is a stone cold fact, period. Right? And I also know that we will have more 6- and 7-figure income earners than any other company, period. Like Kathy Cougars, it's not going to stop. It is going to happen. And so like, why wouldn't I want to be a part of that? So, and it's fun, right? Like to have fun. So find a way. There's this, when I was in Hawaii, there was this lady, and she's about 70, and she is the head of the Ministry of Fun. And her business card is fun, and she's like, if it's not fun, don't do it. She's like, but if you must do it, she's like, you have to make it fun. And I don't know about you, but I have the most fun when I'm working with people who really want to run and want to do this, and doing calls and doing events, like people that feel it. They've got it. They've got the lights turned on. They know what they know. It's like their vision, they're clear, they feel it. They know this vehicle. And it can take some time sometimes to find those people. But if we are not talking about our vision, if we are not letting people know what this is, I'm all about meeting people where they are, but I'm also about not shortening the vision. if we're not telling people where we're going, if we're not showing people this compensation plan, if we're not talking about the opportunity, if we're not talking about this to be the greatest health insurance, life insurance policy, for somebody's family, if we're not talking about that, people don't know. And that's not going to be flourishing in our organization, people that have that belief and vision either. Right? If we're talking about the products and how great the products will make you feel, we'll have some awesome product users, which is awesome. It's the lifeline of our business. But it's like, what are we talking about, vision-wise? I mean, when you share Isagenix, do you just talk about the products, or you tell people the whole vision? Yes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, again, in the early days, we only talked about product because we didn't have a business for Isagenix. We didn't have the back office like we have and all of that. But now we have so much to offer. So I absolutely tell people. I tell them that there's health and wealth involved here, and getting to I was just on another call before this one, and finding out what people want, what they need, being the listener, not the seller. That's where we make the mistake. It's like I know I have a gift, and so you got to have it. It's like, maybe that's not the gift they want. Find out who they are. We hear this all the time. What are their needs? Make friends first. I've got so many people in my pipeline right now. They're not ready to get enrolled. They're just making relationship with me. They're building friendship. They're learning about who I am, and I'm learning about who they are. And I'm staying in touch. I've got people all over the world that I'm working with right now to grow my friendships. Hopefully they'll be part of my Isagenix family, but maybe not. I'm always about, like you said, a professional friend maker. I love that. And that's what I'm looking for, is people who we're like-minded. We have things in common. We want to play together. And look what else I have to play with. I've just got another toy here that can create some really major fun and changes in your life. And what do you got? We just share it. And so on this other call, they were saying, you guys have, I'm sure, heard this before, like, as you're exploring and learning about someone and finding out the color of their carpet, like, what does that really mean? Do we really take the time to do that in relationships, not with the intention to get somebody, not with the intention to sign them up, but just to really know somebody? And I realized when we hung up last night and you were talking about you staying online and talking to dog moms, boxer moms, it's like, I don't know the names of your babies. How can I not know the names of your babies? I should have a file with the names of your babies. That's my bad, right? And so those things are kind of important, but it's also a fun thing. I could just call you up and, hey, Casey, tell me more about your babies. Tell me more about your dogs and what their names are. I want to know more about them. And so it's just creating that relationship, continuing to go deeper and deeper with people and not giving up. Because just because 100 people said no to you, when you find that right person that's going to run like you were talking about, it changes everything. And all you need is one who says, yeah, I get it, let's go. So yes, I talk about the business opportunity. I don't ever talk about a business. I just talk about getting their products paid for and a financial bonus to this, if they're open to hearing that. And I always ask if they're open to hearing. And everybody says yes. In 16 years, I've had 2 people say no.
Call that a clue. Are we asking? Are we listening? Oh, I had goosebumps when you said that. I had absolute goosebumps when you said a listener and not a seller. And guys, because the thing is when you're a listener, and then you can just match a solution for somebody, right? Like, I have this little gift, and it, Cindy, you gave me this gift, and it says, friends are angels, on heaven, sent from heaven, that are here on earth. Like, that's what a friend is. And we have the ability to be somebody's angel, all the time. Just by lending an ear, listening, right? Being empathetic, being compassionate to somebody and really hearing them, listening to understand and not to respond. That's something too that's definitely powerful, really listening to understand where somebody is and then being able to be genuine and authentic and offering that solution. And you guys, people feel that, like that is sense, that is an energy that can be felt. And in the book The Greatest Salesman in the World, it talks about love being the greatest quote unquote weapon that none of whom we call can defend against its forces. And when we take the time to listen to somebody, oh my gosh, and we can offer them that's love. And who can ever be upset or offended and not feel that. So I love it. Well, I know it's 9:40 and the time has wrapped up. When I'm excited because, I know that I have done vision casting circles. I have a presentation that I love doing that I love vision casting, love really showing the long-term geometric progression of this vehicle and how it can take place. So I always encourage everybody to be drawing circles, making sure you know it. So next Monday at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be doing that with you, Andrea. So I'm super excited about that. Is there anything that you want to add, or just one last thing that you want to say, or if there's any questions that anybody wants to put in the chat or anything like that for Andrea, and
or they can put in anything in the chat for both of us, Casey. But what I want to just reiterate is what you were just talking about is next week I'm going to get on this call, and I want to invite my team as well to get on at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. And Casey's going to take us through the way she vision casts and how she draws the circles and what that actually looks like. And I'm really excited to learn and to sit at your feet, girlfriend, and hear how you do that and what you have to say. And I want to invite my team, and I want to invite all of you guys listening. How many people would you like to bring to that call next week? How many people do you want to share this with, who can jump on with us and just hear another way of doing this, hearing it from Casey, who is, she's doing really well here, and she's having so much fun doing it. That's what I love about you, is that you have all of this. It's just, you're always smiling. You're always in joy. And I love that. And we all can be in that place. So again, I'm going to be deferring to you next Monday and sitting at your feet and listening to what you have to share.
Circles.
I
was the same. Just oh my gosh, I've learned so much from you, and just so appreciative, and always giving, always supporting. And so just thank you. You guys, the value of Andrea saying yes, maybe her husband saying yes, and then her by osmosis, then saying yes, that's trickled down to every single one of us. Because it was a person, another person said yeah, and then another person, and then that's incredible. So, so fun. She's definitely a circle sister. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, yes, join for next week. And I love that challenge. Who do you want to bring to draw out, to see some circles and vision casting drawn out? So fun. So Casey's favorite thing: circles, dogs, Isagenix, the beach, and the moon. Yes.
There's 43 people on this call right now, so I want to challenge everybody to bring 2 people, one for your left and one for your right, to come and listen to the call, so we actually make this call way bigger than what it is right now. So if you're willing to accept that challenge, raise your hand. Anybody? All right, cool. Me too.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'll get the recording up, and thank you so much for your time and just all your knowledge and your heart. And I'll see you guys next Monday.
Thank you so much for everything you're doing, Casey, and everything you're bringing, and to the entire team. I mean, God bless everybody here, because we're all creating this for each other and making such a huge difference on this planet, and we're just getting started.
Just getting started. And shout out to Melina, girl. I see all them dream visions that your team's doing up there in Michigan, girl. All them, that excites me like no other. Seeing all them poster boards and everybody's dreams on them. So rock that out.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, everybody. Same time next week, and we're going to really move into vision casting and circles.
Yay.
Awesome. Thank you, Casey, so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.